Hello guys, welcome me back to my channel. Hope you guys are all doing great. My name is Partner. A very big thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you so much guys for always supporting me. Thank you for always stopping by. I appreciate you guys a lot. I can't thank you enough. And if you're new here, please go ahead and also subscribe, okay? I really appreciate that. And please remember to turn the notification bells on, because that's the only way you get notified every time I upload my weekly videos, okay? So today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful fitted dress with a cold shoulder sleeve, and it's going to have ruffle at the lower part. So this dress, I'll divide it into three parts. It's going to have a half length cut. Then the second part, which is the lower part, is going to be the skirt part, and of course the lowest part will have the ruffle. And it's a three-quarter length dress, okay? So it's below the knees, okay? And the full length I'm working with is 47. That's the length, okay? And the half length cut I'm making use of is 16, okay? So I have here this African print here, okay? And here I've already ironed my interfacing on it and placed alongside with the lining as well. Okay, so this I'm going to use to cut the front part of this dress and the upper part as well, yes. So here what I'll do first is to take my measurements. Here I have the chest line I'm working with, 9, and the breast point line is 11, so I'll add half on each to it, 11 and a half, because of the joining at the upper side, that's at the shoulder part, okay? Then the under bust is 14, so I'll make it 14.5. Then of course the length. So here I'll take my shoulder measurement. Remember the 3 by 8 inches measurement. So here I have 3 and 8, and at this point I come down by 1 inch so I can get my shoulder slope. So the shoulder I'm working with is 14 divided by 2, that's 7. So if I divide it, that's 7. If I divide by 2, 7, then add half of an inch to it, that's 7.5 here. So I'll also mark 7.5 along this line, okay, to get my my angle 90 degree. This will give me my armhole curve. Then I'll come from this point here and get to this point. I have H. I'll get the midpoint, which is 4. So at this midpoint here, I'll come in by half of an inch so that I can get my front armhole. So all I do is to create my armhole this way. Okay, so here I have my front armhole. Okay, so by the way, this is going to be a princess cut out bust. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to create now. So on this chest line, I will put my bust measurement, which I'm working with is 34. If I divide it by 4, I have 8.5 here. So I'll just take note of that. Okay, then I'll come to this curve I have created now. From here to this, my bust measurement point I just took, I'll get the measurement that's for the curve so that I can get the midpoint. And what I have here is 9. So the midpoint is at 4.5, which is here. So this is the midpoint here. So just take note of this point, okay? Then I'll come down to this point here. I will take my bust span measurement, the bust span, which is nipple to nipple measurement, okay, and that is 7. Okay, so if I divide it by 2, what I have is 3.5. Then I'll add half of an inch to it, that is 4. Okay, so I'll come down. This is my bust point. You might want to take note of these lines. This is the chest line, the bust point, and this is the under bust, and of course the waistline. So I'll come down to my bust point. I will input the bust span measurements. The bust span measurement of 4. I'll come here and measure 4 inches here. Okay. Then I'll come down to this under bust line. I'll take away half inch from what I have here, which will make it 3.5. Here is 4. Take away half inch at the under bust. I'm marking out 3.5. Then the same thing to the waistline as well, 3.5. Okay.
So all I do now is to connect these lines from the underbust to the waist. Then from this underbust, I'll connect it to the bust point line, and here this. Then from this bust point line, I'll take it to meet this midpoint line we have here. Okay, yeah. So I'll take this way. So here we have created our princess dart um, line. Okay, so I'll come down to this underbust line. From this part now, I'm going to take 1.5 inch. Okay, for my previous video I mentioned that this varies. Okay, for a medium size you can use 2. For a more bigger bust you can use 2.5. An extra bust you can use 3, depends on. Okay, but for this I'm working with a bust 34, so 1.5 is ideal. Okay, if it had been like 36 to 42, then I should have been using 2, so I'm going to use 1.5 here. So here I'll mark 1.5 at this under bust, and here also at the waistline I'll mark the same um, 1.5 as well. Okay, then on this my bust point line I need to move up and down by 1 inch, and take note of it. So from this bust point line I will go up, this is 1 inch above, then I'll also come down 1 inch below. Can you see this? So from this 1 inch below, I'll connect it to this underpost line. So this is going to create my cup at the lower part here. So all I do is just to carefully create my cup by connecting it together. You can see this. Okay, now then this line, of course, I'll connect it to the waistline. So here we have this. You can see the cup at this lower part. Okay, so I have 2 inches here, so I have 1.5 inches rather. So I will take away ½ inch from here, it becomes 1 inch. I will impute it here. Okay, ideally whatever it is you use here, if I use 2 here for instance, if I take away half of an inch it becomes 1.5, right? So here is 1.5 is what I have. I take away ½ inch, so I'm left with 1. So I'm going to put that 1 here. But whatever it is, I will have to split it into 2. So that 1, if I split it into 2, it becomes 0.5. So I'll come to this point, this midpoint here, 0.5 on the lower side. Okay, yeah. So what I will do now is to connect these 2 points to the this 1 inch that will mark above the bust point. Okay, so from here I connect the first one. So that's it, guys. You can see this. So at this one that is the inside now, I'm going to stretch it out by 1.5 inches. Okay, so that when we are joining the princess dart together, we don't have the armhole shortly. It's ideally to always put in that. Okay, so either you go up by 1.5 or 2 inch. So from this point I'm just going to move up by 2 inch. Can always trim out the excesses. Okay, yeah, so this is it now. So here I'm going to connect it to my bust point line. This is going to create my armhole now. So after I've imputed my bust measurements. Okay, yeah, so that's it, guys. You can see the cup has been created at this point. So I'll come now to the bust point. Remember, we've already inserted at the bust measurements here initially. So all I need to do is to put in the extra inches of allowance. Okay, so if you see here 0.5, here we actually used 1 inch. So and this side is going to be going off, so I have to impute it back here. So I'll put in that 1 inch, okay, plus an extra 3 inches. Okay, I'll be working with, or 3.5. Okay, yeah. So at the um underbust line, I'll put the underbust measurement is 30. If I divide it by 4, what I have is 7.5. So I have 7.5 here. Okay, remember here we have 1.5 which will be going on, so I need to put it back in here. So I'll also put in the 1.5 inch as well. Then of course an extra 3.5 inches. Okay, yes. So I'll just extend it to the waistline, and that's it. The next thing is to connect it to the bust line. You can see this. So from here, I can now create my armhole here to this point. So you can see, that's it guys, we're done. So what I will do now is just to impute my neckline. The neck width I'm using, I'll make use of 4. Then for the neck depth, I'll use say, let me do 6 inches. Yeah, 6 inches. Okay, so I'll just create a little bit of curve here. So that's it guys, we're done. The only thing left now is just to cut this out. So here guys, you can see the front piece is ready. I'm intentionally extending this lining, okay, so that when I'm done turning over, I can always trim out the excesses. Okay, yeah. So this is it for the front piece. So I'll just go ahead and cut out the back piece. So I'll come to this start line and take my shoulder measurement. First of all, creating the slope, the 3 by 8 inch. Then putting my shoulder measurement of 7.5. Then from this point, we get the midpoint. I'll just create my front, my back armhole. Okay, so from this point here, I'll input in my bust measurement, which is 34 divided by 4, that's 8.5 here. So from here, I will get the midpoint again, 9 inches, and I have 4.5 here. So this is the midpoint I'm working with for to put in my princess dart. Okay, then as we did, this is the bust point and this is the under bust. So at the bust point, I put my bust bar measurement of 4. Then on the under bust, I take away ½ inch and come down by 3.5, and that's it. So all I need to do is to connect this line, then also connect this bust point to the midpoint line we have here. And guys, we're almost done. Like, what I need to do now is to extend this by 1.5 or 2 inches, just like we did in the front piece, okay, so that we don't have any shortage when we're joining it to the armhole line. So I'm just extending this, okay, by say 2 inches. Okay, yeah. So what is left now, we'll put my other measurement. I already have my bust measurements inputted here. I'll just add an extra 2.5 inch. Then on the under bust, I have 30 divided by 4, that's 7.5, and my extra 3.5. So I'll just take it down to the waistline. Remember, every measurement is starting from this zip allowance line. So I'll connect this. And guys, believe it or not, we're done. The last thing now is just to impute in my neckline. The neck width I'm working with is 4. Okay, so for the back piece, I'll just go up, say I'll do 4 inches here, and give this a curve. Yeah, so this is okay. So that's it guys. Take note, I'm supposed to connect this point to the new to our armhole. Okay, so here it is guys, the back piece and the front piece. So we're done with the upper part of this dress. So here for the lower part of this dress, which is the skirt part, okay, all I need to do is to take note. This starting point automatically is my waistline, so I'll just go down by 9 inch to mark my hip line. And remember, I said the length of dress I'm working with 47. So the upper part we use 16. So if I take away 16 from 47, I was left with 31. Okay, so for 31, I need to divide it into two. So for this upper part, I'm doing 21 because I want to use 10 inches for the ruffle I'll be putting on the lower part. Okay, so 31 take away 10, I'm left 21. So the skirt is going to be 21 in length. So that's what I have here. And you can see I'm cutting out both the front and the back piece together. And here I have the zipper allowance already. Yeah, so that's it. So here, from here to here now is the hip line. Okay, so from this waistline I'll just include the waist measurement of 30 divided by 4, that's 7.5. I'm going to add 3 inches of allowance here. Yes, then on the hip line, which is 41 divided by 4, I have 10.25, and I'm also going to add the 3 inches of allowance here as well. Then for the lower parts, I want it to be paired, but I'm still going to include the same hip measurements on the lower parts, which is 10.25, right? Plus extra 3 inches. Okay, so because I want it to be penciled, so I'm going to go in by 1.5 inch or even 2 inch. So that's it. The next thing now is just to connect this point. So here we have it. It's as easy as that. Okay, yes. So I'll just cut this all out. So from here I'll take note of the bust span measurements. Remember we used 4, 3.5 plus half inch, so 4. So I'll take note of it here so I can create a notch for my dart. And here I also take note of the zipper allowance here. So that's it, guys. The skirt is ready. Okay, so moving on. So for the sleeve part, remember I said it's going to be a cold shoulder sleeve, and I want it to be a sleeve length of 10 inches. Okay, so what I have here, I have 12. So with the allowance I'll use to join it to the upper part of the dress and the hemming allowance at the lower part. Okay, so yeah. So on this point here, I'll just create my armhole curve. I have a video on this on how to create a basic sleeve. It's quite straightforward. I'll also have it linked here in the description box, so you can go ahead and see how it's done. So here is the armhole line I'm creating. From here to here is the calf side. I'll get the midpoint of this line here, that's 11. I'll get the midpoint 5. So this will help me create my curve. So on this part, on the lower part, the round sleeve is 12. So divided by 2, that's 6. I'll put an extra 1.5 inch there. So I'll just connect it together. So here the sleeve is ready, okay, to be cut out. Then in creating the cold shoulder sleeve, I don't really want the opening to be much. So from this center point of the sleeve, attach it, I'll go moving by 2 inch. Okay, moving by 2 inch. Then also from the same point, I'll go down by 2 inch. Okay, so that's it. Or let me do 2.5. I go down by, from here, the starting point, I move down by 2.5, but this way I went 2 inch. So I'll just connect it together. So that's it. This side will be going off. It's as simple as that. So that's it, guys. We're done. This is how it's going to look. I feel I should still come down a bit. I should just come down by, say, half an inch more. You know I used 2.5. I'll just make it 3. And when we are sewing, we're still going to take away half inch. So I'll just go down by half an inch more. Okay, so that's it, guys. So we're done. We're done. So what is left now? Just go use these linings to, turn this all piece together and also join the parts. Okay. So when I'm done with that, I'll come back to show you the next step. Okay. So guys, I'm done using the lining to turn this part. Here is the sleeve, and this is the top part of the dress. This is the front piece, you can see, and also this is the lower part as well. I've also turned it all with the linings. Okay, so what is left now is just to join these parts together. Okay, so on this upper part, I would like to fix in a band just at the front piece. So here I have this piece of plain satin. Okay, and this is 2.5 inch in width. I want the band to be about 1.5 inch thereabout. Okay, so coming down to this upper part, the half length. So what I'm going to do, I'll measure 1 inch from the lower part. Okay, I'm going to measure 1 inch. This 1 inch I'm measuring is just a guide. It's nothing particular, just a guide for me to be able to fix in my band. Having in mind that there are different ways you can do this. You can actually attach it separately, okay? But in this case, I am fixing this one on the fabric itself. So here I have marked out 1 inch. I'll just connect the lines to have a straight line here. So at this 1 inch mark I have here, I'll take this. Remember I said this is 2.5. I'm placing it on this line now, this 1 inch mark. I'm placing it like this. Like I said, it's just a guide. So here I have it this way. Then I'm going to sew half an inch this way. Okay. So once I'm done, so I'll be able to slide it down like this. You can see this. Yes, so at the end of the day, when I'm done, I'll just iron it all out. Okay, if there's any excesses, I'll trim it just to level it to this main fabric, and that will be it. That's it. It's as simple as that. So when I'm done, of course, I will now join it to the lower part of this dress, which is the skirt part. Okay, so I'll be joining it all together. It's for the front piece, and the same thing as well for the back piece.
So when I'm done joining all these parts together, so I will now take the measurement of the lower parts, okay? I'll take the measurement, then I'll be able to know the measurements I need to create my ruffle. So for instance, here is the front piece. This is the lower part. We're assuming we are joining the lower part of the dress. You know, we have this way. So after taking my measurements, you know, I'm going to sew on both sides. If I'm going to sew in 2 inch on both sides, okay, so which means when I take this measurement from here, so I'll have about 35 inch. Okay, so since I have 35 here, so I'm going to multiply that 35 by say 2.5 for 3 inches. Okay, and remember I said the length of the lower part is going to be 10, and what I have here is 10.5. Okay, so I'll use half inch to sew it to the skirt part. Okay, so by the time I create my ruffle with this, I'll be able to attach it to the lower part. So I'm going to be creating a ruffle with the two, this and this one, and I'll be lining it over each other. So this plain one is going to be shorter. Okay, yes. So I will create a ruffle, and when I'm done, I will now attach it to the lower part of this dress. So I'll just go finish it up and then, you know, show you how it looks. Okay. And yeah, guys, I'm done joining these parts together. As you can see, this is looking beautiful already. Here is the band fixed, the lower part of the dress and the back side as well. This is so beautiful. And here is the cold shoulder effects. So this outfit is almost done, like we're almost ready with this. Just all is left now is to fix the ruffle at the lower part. So here I have the ruffle. Okay, so what I did was to create this double ruffle. I placed this plain one over it, and I made sure that I gathered it to the circumference of what I have on the lower part of this dress. Okay, so now in order to attach this, I would fold this into two from the zipper side. That's the lower part of the zipper allowance. Fold it into two this way so that I can get the center. Okay, once I do that, then I will notch. Okay, I will notch like so. Then also this one I've also gathered. Remember I said I made sure that it matches up with what I have on the lower part. I'll also fold it into two like this and also get the center. Okay, then what I will do now is to match it up to the notch I have created. Then I will sew this way till I get to the end. It will match up with the zipper allowance, and this other side I will also do the same thing. Okay, so that's it. Once that is done, this outfit will be ready. So after that, I'll just close up the back opening, the back slit, and that's it. So that will be it. So I'll just go finish this up, then I'll come back to show you the final look of this dress. Okay, and here guys, here is the finished look of this dress. This is so beautiful. Okay guys, that brings us to the end of today's tutorial. I hope you guys had fun, because I did. I always do. Please don't forget to share my videos, give me a giant thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't. Okay, till I see you on the next one. Have a beautiful day.